Now that R. Kelly is in jail, a ton of us had stupidly accepted that his revile would be lifted from the world. Yet seems to be this man actually has some battle left in him. And since he has lost all that, he's prepared to cut down his foes and previous companions to the actual top of his hit rundown is, in all honesty, Jay-Z, and you better accept Jay-Z is wasting his time due to his past. With Kelly, what occurred among them? And for what reason is Jay-Z stressed over it presently? We should figure out. R. Kelly was once the lord of the music business. He totally reclassified ARB and won a large number of Grammy for his tunes. He was a music monster, yet his domain came crashing down when the sexual maltreatment charges began pouring in. Minor one, affirming that she had many sexual experiences, including trios, all at the command of Kelly. It wasn't simply a solitary grumbling or an oddball episode. A large number of casualties started to shout out, and that is the point at which the stunner dropped. R. Kelly was a pedophile and a kid molester in the world, had worshipped this victimizer. One of his casualties talked about the horrendous time in her life. You caused me to do things that broke my soul. I, in a real sense, wished I would pass on. Due to how low you caused me to feel. Do you recollect that you can envision the size of Kelly's destruction after these disclosures? His court preliminary was fierce and severe, and individuals were all legitimately extremely furious. The Examiner talked about the vocalist and said he carried out these wrongdoings involving his distinction and fame as both a safeguard which forestalled critical examination or judgment of his activities, and a sword which gave him admittance to abundance, and an organization of empowering agents to work with his violations, and a loving fan base from which to separate his casualties. After an extensive court preliminary, Kelly got 30 years in jail, which genuinely weren't sufficiently for all the aggravation he had caused. He'd gone after little youngsters and obliterated the existences of such countless honest young ladies. Yet rather than atoning on the transgressions of the past and attempting to offer to set things straight, Kelly has chosen to start a quarrel for no really good reason. Kelly has now recorded an allure against his 30-year jail sentence. The artist was condemned on 9 government court convictions, and we as a whole expected that would mean certain death for this horrible Kelly would be secured in some dull jail away from every one of the young kids, and the music business would be somewhat more secure for youngsters. Yet Kelly shocked everybody when he petitioned for another preliminary. His lawyer says he wasn't given a fair preliminary, all things considered, and they ought to retry it. Every one of his reasons. The lawyer thinks there were an excessive number of specialized mistakes in the judgment, a few specialized factors, including that examiners didn't demonstrate that the supposed sex tape of Kelly mishandling Jane at his home made it to deliver kid erotic entertainment. This truly makes us stress. Perhaps the lawyer is truly ready to fix the conviction and free Kelly, all things considered. In the event that it makes you stress, have confidence that there is somebody who might be listening who's totally unnerved by this news. And that somebody is Jay-Z. You may be considering, what does Jay-Z have to do with this? Turns out the two artists have more tangled ways than we at first suspected. The main thing on R. Kelly's psyche is vengeance. And with the new allure, it seems as though he could possibly pursue his retribution. All things considered, on the off chance that Kelly chooses to go that course, Jay-Z will experience the fury. Jay-Z's entire profession is on the line. Not that his standing and his sweet day-to-day life is all disintegrating at the exact second. Assuming that Kelly chooses to go hard and fast, Jay-Z might try and wind up in prison. Jay-Z's trepidation and stress checks out when you understand enduring R. Kelly could have been subsidized by Jay-Z. To understand why Kelly is so focused on demolishing Jay-Z's life and why Jay-Z is so frightened of him, you'll need to go as far as possible back to the start of the relationship. Jay-Z previously worked with R. Kelly in 1996 on the Changing Countenances track. Every One of My Days. Jay-Z and R. Kelly were both the top artists in the business, So it just checked out for them to work together on tracks, yet individuals loved the pair significantly more than they initially suspected. Thus, a periodic tracks transformed into a full collection. And a world visit, the best case scenario would have been the collection of the year, or even the 10 years yet. With Kelly, what could you at any point expect yet a wreck in 2002? A video appeared that shook the entire business of brief. Video of R. Kelly having intercourse with a minor Kelly promptly emerged with a tragic account about how individuals were making up counterfeit stories to annihilate him. He straight up wouldn't just let it out and said, "It's undeniably challenging for me, yet you know I'm guiltless, it's poop." And that is the way we will treat it at this point. It's obvious that I have a couple of individuals in the past that I shot individuals that I believed were my companions. And that is not my companion from that point forward. It's been dangers on how they will treat me in the event that I don't pay them this. They'll put a story out. And when I won't pay them, and presently here comes this story, certain individuals from the business were persuaded that Jay-Z had a lot of experience with Kelly's nauseating activities. And he let them pull off it. Rapper Nas accepts it was unimaginable for Jay-Z to realize you can't perceive me. Jay didn't see a 14-year-old young lady come into the studio and sit on R. Kelly's lap. You will let me know he didn't see no 14-year-old young lady come into the area. Jay-Z, anyway, is a shrewd man. And he knows whether there's one thing you never do is to hop into one more man's wreck. He would not talk on the occurrence or pass any decisions of his own. You know, got love for the man, you realize. I mean, in the event that he's liable, I seek divine intervention that he finds support on the off chance that he's not. I wish everyone you understand what I'm talking about. Everyone embraceable plainly. Kelly saw that individual he thought to be his well-wisher and companion would prefer to avoid any discussion than to talk in support of himself. Still, the two keep their own sentiments to the side and begin chipping away at the best-case scenario visit. Yet I surmise the visit wasn't exactly the best-case scenario, as the defeat came before long. All along of the visit, Kelly had one or two serious misgivings of Jay-Z and his goals, and R. Kelly completes the show whining that he feels that Jay-Z's group disrupted his lighting arrangement to destroy his show. The visit continued still, and everybody thought the two figured out their issues. Yet the genuine occurrence was at this point to happen. R. Kelly cuts the best-case scenario. Show sure it's subsequently detailed that R. Kelly truly attacked the lighting expert on the show. However, no charges were squeezed. This was stunning for everybody, as no one truly anticipated that Kelly should get into a clench-hand battle when every one of the eyes were on him. Yet, as I said before, what could you at any point anticipate from Kelly other than a wreck? Assuming that it was a more brilliant craftsman, he would act right and make a point not to make any more debate until the end of the visit. Yet Kelly didn't think this far and progressed forward with the trickeries. The visit was stopped after a stunning episode during the first of 3 shows at New York City's Madison Square Nursery. Preceding the show, R. Kelly gets a call. Now, he never expressly expresses what's on this call, yet he proposes that someone is compromising his life. Kelly thought somebody was attempting to kill him, and surprisingly, guaranteed that he had gotten demise dangers before the show. Kelly was nervous the entire time, and truly it appeared as though he was freaking out after all he had done. We wouldn't be amazed on the off chance that the demise dangers were as a matter-of-fact valid, yet envision Jay-Z's dissatisfaction. Since now there were individuals in the arena, thinking somebody was out there with a firearm prepared to fire individuals. As of now, Jay-Z was done. I super attempted to keep this thing intact. I genuinely attempted. Jay accepted Kelly was demolishing his visit and his standing by being discourteous and ruined. And Kelly was out there persuaded that Jay-Z was on a mission to get him. Jay-Z had given Kelly an opportunity, despite the fact that his claims were essentially as extreme as they get. Clearly, it was a doubt of any charitable love on Jay-Z's part. and just according to a business perspective. Yet he had not deserted Kelly totally at this point. Yet that day things exploded altogether. These offered out shows in the nursery. To 5 New York shows, I imply. That is only it's basically impossible, that it's absolutely impossible that conceivable that this will be fixed. And definitely I can't do it. I can't do it, Jay-Z. Was persuaded that either Kelly was flipping out or being insolent deliberately in light of the fact that after such severe security, carrying a firearm into the arena was unthinkable. Yet that is where it gets fascinating. Kelly himself had brought weapons inside the arena. Rapper Cassidy conceded that he had given weapons to Kelly and his hooligans himself. That too for Kelly's quarrel with Jay-Z. They was going through something I didn't realize it was with Jay-Z. I know who it was with yet. I realize I needed to get out there and play out. That is all I was centered around. This wasn't the finish of the dramatization either. Kelly's group was in the middle of persuading Kelly to get back in front of an audience and fix the wreck, yet Kelly wasn't finished destroying things. Yet he chose to get into another clench hand battle, this time with Jay-Z's dear companion, Tyron Tie-Dye. Smith. Kelly is a sad contender, so obviously Smith wound up sending him to the clinic. A while later, Jay discussed the episode in interviews and said that Kelly's activities were silliness. He felt that Shaky Kelly was desirous of the group's adoration for Jay. Yet Kelly told a completely unique variant of the story. He said he terrified and left the stage, yet when he quieted down and attempted to return, he was pepper splashed by Ty Smith. This show was essentially the finish of best of both world visit for Kelly, despite the fact that it was obviously Kelly's shortcoming. And the visit self-destructed, he actually emerged and behaved like a casualty. The fans merit better compared to this. I'd like the show to go on. It's truly disheartening that Jay-Z and the advertiser don't know that the visit was over. Kelly and Jay-Z got into another fight, this time a lawful one. Kelly concluded he should have been paid for all the problem and for getting him off the visit, so he went to